Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Elijah Mahmood Othman is still here with us. He's also a delegate, don't forget, at the National Conference. And looking at this security matter now, well, yes, indeed, we've had the comments of Mr. Sabo Kiana, and we all expect, I dare say, Nigerians now, they shouldn't drop the ball. Because what Sabo Kiana says is he expects to see them go back to the States, have your meetings, pick up the sleeve, pick up the gauntlet, fold your sleeves, let them get down to work. They've given the marching orders. It's time for them to put their money where their mouth is. Do you see that happening?
Well, I hope it will work because, you see, for a time immemorial, even when we had regions, then we graduated into what we call states. Every state of Nigeria has a security committee. The commissioner, whoever is the governor, whoever is the commissioner of police, whoever is the head of SSS, and some others, if there's a military battalion there, the commandant there, they all meet. And there is a representative of traditional ruler, whoever is the chairman of traditional rulers. There is a representative of traditional council. They meet, they discuss all problems at the local level. But if the system has been allowed to collapse, that's their problem. So it's a matter of reviving it. They don't have to wait for anybody to tell them anything. They have this structure on the ground. At every local government, all the 774 local governments, you have a DPO, you have a representative of SSS, there's an SSS operative in every local government. The local government chairman, also they have their own mini security committee. But because the way we do things in our own country, maybe the chairman is not interested in calling for anything. Maybe the governor is too busy doing other things. Or they think they just listen to rumor of something and don't act on it. Not talk of the national level, which you have the National Council of States. There should be, if the system is working, there should be direct communication between president and every governor, 24 hours. There should be communication between the governor at the state with all the apparatus, whether they call them security or whether they are over cover or undercover. There must be just communication. Now, the governors, on their own, they contribute a lot to security. Maybe they are not even conscious now. When you go out of this studio, all those police jeeps you are seeing, all those Hilux, even some of the AK-47 they are carrying, were donated by state governors. They are spending a lot of money. How many times on your own television, on the screen, you saw a governor handing over keys with arrays of vehicles to commissioner of police at state level? Sometimes AIG in charge of the zone will receive it on behalf of Inspector General of Police. So the governors are contributing to security out of the meager resources they have. Now, if they are contributing and nothing is coming out of it, then there's a problem. Now, the ordinary Nigerian person is very sociable, very likable, very simple going, easy going person. He is vigilant, he is perceptive, he can easily pass information. But where the danger is, he passes information about something negative he perceives. Then it comes back to him.
How do you mean?
Well, you go to, you voluntarily walk to a police station and tell them you suspect something happened in your neighborhood. Then when the operative get involved, your neighbor comes and starts to deal with you, that you go and reported me. So how do they know that one? So it becomes another Kabir Sokoto with a search in Abaji of a house. You police 5 vehicles full of policemen, I don't know how many, put one individual, drive 87 kilometers to Abaji, or reaching there, they were attacked. Kabir Sokoto was released. So who informed the people in Abaji?
So we'll really have to check and check absolutely again amongst ourselves. I just wouldn't want this to escape us, and it has to do with the Fulani headsmen and locals. Sadly, I just do remember to put that before Kiana, knowing full well he's also from Nasarawa State, and we've also seen that happen in Nasarawa State apart from other states. So in this whole mix, where did that also come into this? Because it's all about security in the country.
Well, you see, the man they call Lugard had experience in Uganda, the Toro part of Uganda and the Buganda kingdom before he came to Nigeria. It was experience he had there That was brought him to Nigeria by the British. And even then, they know this nomadic life of some people in the rest of the world. And all over Nigeria, you have these trucks. In those days, we didn't have the benefit of these giant trailers. You put cattle, you drive from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt or to Lagos. In those days, the Fulani people, they have their truck. It's not used by anybody. They just walk. If you want to go to one particular town, that's because there are no roads then. That's what you want to take, you take. But in the name of civilization, we took over those trucks. In Hausa, they call it, they have a name for it. I don't want to, bother our listeners with it. But everybody in northern Nigeria know that one. And I believe it is the same. Because in those days, when they drive the cattle all the way from the north to the south, they have their routes. But we converted those routes either to mechanized farming by some privileged individuals, or new roads took over, other structures took over. So those disappeared. So the Fulanis are now exposed to roam about aimlessly. And where we created grazing reserves in most of the states, those grazing reserves now have become somebody's farm, private farm, or institutions. So they have disappeared. But in today's world, there is no way you can allow a bunch of people like that going about aimlessly, incurring a negative reaction from farmers because they go and attack the farm produce before you remove it. That is one side. The other side is that the new innovation, because I call it innovation. For some criminals to be doing what they are doing and say, these Fulani herdsmen, I want to see one of them caught, and let's interview him in Fulani language.
Okay.
Now, 17 of them were caught yesterday, sorry.
So
the interview part, we don't know when it's
anybody
going to
who
come.
knows Fulani herdsmen, for you to combat that one, to become militant using AK-47, or ambushing people, attacking people, throwing bombs, Fulani herdsmen?
Oh, no, my point is that they were caught, 17 people were caught who were allegedly masking as Fulani herdsmen. That was what which was the Nigerian army said. Yeah.
Give us your perspective, your impression about what's going on at this national conference, because we know it's not everything the camera can catch. It's not live on television 24 hours. What's going on? How have you, in terms of, yes, you spoke about national issues, now you are at the conference. What's the feeling now that you've gone into committee levels?
Well, it is a combination of what you may call the good, the bad, the ugly, even the most bizarre. We are all there. It's a mixed grill. And everybody has come with some particular idea, mental fixation. Either they are representing ethnic nationalities, or they are representing religious groups, or they are representing regions. But luckily enough, some of us come on a Nigerian representation. I am in the organized private sector. And even now, when we are dispersed into 20 committees, I belong to Committee on Economy, Trade and Investment. And economy doesn't have a language, doesn't have a religion. If you don't get the economy right, then everything like what is happening to us can happen to us. All this confusion and crisis we have is because the economy is bad. If the economy is good, it's taking care of everybody, who has time? Who is unemployed? To be idle, to be taking stone and throwing it at other people. But because we talk, we don't act. So when we started, everybody had an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes, which, because the timekeeping was bad, some speak for less than 3 minutes, the bell rang. Okay. Some, because they are big names in Nigeria, people used to hear them. So
they speak for more than 3 minutes.
So they just, and of course, there are also sycophancy, part of it. You are asked to speak for 3 minutes, and you have specific ideas you want to talk about. But you waste all the time phrasing Mr. President, phrasing so and so, maybe for nominating you. And then by the time they ring bell, they say it is time.
Still do that,
now you remember you are supposed to say so and so. So that is, unless we don't have this electronic timing, which will cut you off, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter who you are. But we went round. At that time, the militancy came out of it, the rigidity of individuals, to be seen on camera, to be seen on television by their people. Yes, our man is doing the right thing. We sent him for that. He's not going to disappoint us. But now, as we went around, 490-something people, you had opinions. So people started to mellow down. People now started to understand. No amount of pressure, no amount of self-sacrifice from anybody will change anything. It is a matter of compromise. Whatever you say, you must get approval. You must get other people to support your idea before it can swim through. As long as you need 70% of all the members, or whoever the members are, the voting members are, for your idea to pass through. So we are mellowing down. Now we are in 20 committees, as you mentioned here, the devolution of powers, you have security, you have agriculture, you have civil society, you have all sorts of things. So those committees are doing their best to bring what they think is going to be the best solution for our problems, as far as that particular committee is concerned. Then, of course, we'll meet, go back all over again and debate all those presentations. So I think we are looking forward to some very, very positive contributions to what will bring solution to our numerous problems.
Are they calming down now to the extent that they're all beginning to see reason why the country should remain one, that we're all one another's keepers?
Well, I think at the beginning there are some people who have mental fixation that either regionalism or they want to go on their own, they can do whatever. But I think the dust is settling down. If you want to copy, if you want to observe what is happening else in the other parts of the world, we have lived long enough to tolerate each other. All this idea of division is elitist. Those elites, maybe if you split, they will become governor of that small enclave. But the fact that I can drive from Badagry to Bama, even not because of this nuisance of checkpoints, toll gates, but it's my country. Nobody is asking me why I am here. The same passport, nobody asked for my passport because it's my country. Can you imagine now if Ogun is to become another country? Immediately you cross Baga, you have to have a visa to cross, or something like that. So that's what is going on. Then what happened you have to relocate everybody, because you cannot come here and do business if this is not your country. You must have business permit. You must have even everything else you have. Even your property now, it may be your property, but definitely there has to be something. So we have a lot to think about, to be together, to fight it together, and become a very, very serious country that can be respected by everybody else.
What's your impression of the few young people who are present at that conference?
Well, they are learning the ropes. They come with this idealism. All of us at certain stages of our life, we think we can change everything. And as age and experience work on us, we calm down, what we call in chemistry osmosis. Area of concentration and area of, so somewhere along the line you meet a meeting of minds. But the young people are still agitating that they are not being carried along and so on and so on. But that's the usual exuberance you expect. So the fact that you have our eldest delegate, who celebrated his 92nd birthday anniversary, I think about 10 days ago. Then you have the youngest 24 years old. So if you put all this together, that's really a fun Nigerian big umbrella. So it is a matter of just respect yourself, understand the mission, and see how you can mingle with other people, how you can compromise, how you can reach a consensus. Because the whole Nigerian state, what is missing is this consensus. If we insist out of chauvinism that our idea is the only idea, there is no other way, then there is no way we can go forward. And I think if there is anything positive about this conference, I think that's what is coming out of it. At the end of the day, no matter how we feel, how strong we feel about what the constituency we are representing, we must compromise. We may not get 100% of what we want, but at least somewhere in the middle of the road, you are still making progress.
All right, we want to thank you for coming on this morning. Mahmood Othman is a public affairs analyst, and now he's at that conference. Are you going back next week, or are they on recess?
Yeah, God willing, we are resuming on Monday.
Oh, okay.
To continue with the committee work.
Okay. Is that 3 months going to be enough for the entire conference?
Well, necessity, they say, is the mother of invention. So when we realized we wasted a lot of time listening to everybody 3 minutes, then one thing after the other. Then now we are at the committee. We have only 2 weeks, but those 2 weeks are not even genuine 2 weeks. You are not talking of 14 days. Okay. You are talking of 3 working days. Next week is just going to be 3 working because of May Day coming on Thursday. So what we did in our own committee and quite a number of committees, officially they say we should start 10 o'clock and finish 6. So in our committee, okay, why should we start 10 o'clock? We start 9. Okay. Why 2 hours break? 1 hour. So we gain 2 hours a day. So we can work. We can work within the frame. Within the frame.
And cover a lot. Yes.
Interesting. All right. Thank you for coming on, Alaji. We're back in just a moment here. Please join us again.